All right, here we go. Part 2. Number 5, solve the proportion. All right, so the proportion is, we have our first ratio, 15/4. And remember, a proportion is two ratios that are equivalent. Here's our missing value that we're trying to figure out. All right, so here's our proportion. All right, now there's two ways we can do it. We can do it the way we've been solving proportions, and we can cross multiply. So we'll put our equal sign right here, and we can go 15 times n, or n times 15, either way. And that's going to give us 15n. And then 4 times 45 gives us 180. All right, then we want to solve for n. So it means we want to get the n by itself. So we're going to divide by 15 here, and divide by 15 here, which causes our 15 to cancel out. And 80 divided by 15 equals 12. So n equals 12. All right, now the other way you could do this is if you can look at it and kind of figure out, oh, well, 15, how did I get from 15 to 45? What did I multiply by? Not what did I add by? What did I multiply by? Well, I multiplied by 3. And if I multiply the top by 3, I got to multiply the bottom by 3. And that would also give me 12. Okay, so there's how we got number 5. Should have got n equals 12. Okay, all right, let's take a look at number 6 real quick. All right, now you're going to see one very similar to this on the tests. And on the tests, one of these options is going to give you some incorrect information. And that's the one you're looking for. Which of the following does not represent the number of months in a year? So which one of these is giving us wrong information about how many months there are in a year? Well, we can kind of look. I mean, let's start at D. There are 48 months in 4 years. Is that true? Sure, that's true. Yep. If you take 4 years times 12 months, that gives you 48 months. How about letter C? Y equals 12x, where x represents the number of years and y represents the number of months. Well, let's try it. So if we put, let's say 3 for x, we can pick any number we want. Let's just go with 3. So if we decide to put a 3 in there for x, that'd be 12 times 3. Okay, that'd be 36 equals, 12 times 3. You would have y equals the number of months. So 36 equals 12 times 3. Then that would be correct. 3 years times 12 gives us 36. So this is correct. How about right here? Does this table show us a correct relationship between months and years? Well, let's see what our constant is right here. Well, 108 divided by 9 is 12. 84 divided by 7 is 12. 60 divided by 5 is 12. 36 divided by 3 is 12. Again, that's correct. There are 12 months in a year. So for 3 years, you'll have 36. 3 times 12 is 36. All right, so then let's come to letter A. Let's look at how this is situated here. The x-axis represents the number of years, and the y-axis represents the number of months. So the way this graph reads is that 1 year, look at what point it crosses. It crosses 6. Is 1 year equal to 6 months? No. Is 2 years equal to 12 months? No. So this is the one that does not represent the number of months in a year. So just be on the lookout on the tests. Again, you're going to see something very similar. It may be that the answer that you need to pick is the graph. It may be that the one that does not show the correct relationship between months and years is the table, or either C or D. Okay, so just make sure you pay attention to the problem. Okay. All right, number 7. Find the constant of proportionality for this graph. All right, well, first of all, can we determine that this graph is proportional? Yes, we can. How do we know that this line represents a proportional relationship? Because it passes through 0. Okay, it passes through the origin. All right, so remember, all we need to do is just find one point on here So how about, let's go with this one right here. How about 2, so 2, 6. Okay, 2, 6. We'll put that point. This is for number 7. All right, so we're going to put the point 2, 6. And that comes from just right here. 2 on our x-axis intersects with 6 on our y-axis. All right, so there's one of the points. All right. So remember, this is our x, this is our y. The formula for constant is k equals y divided by x. So we're going to plug these values into our formula. So this would just be constant equals 6 divided by 2, which is 3. So our constant is 3. Oops. K equals 3. Sorry, that is really ugly right there. Okay. All right, that's number 7. Let's look at number 8. All right. Last problem for this video right here, okay? Then we'll do 2 more videos and we'll be done. Okay, so we have 320 liters of water produces 4 cups of coffee. How much water is needed to produce 2/3 cups of coffee? All right, let's check it out. Let's set up our ratio. Sorry to be going back and forth. So we're going to take 230 over 4, and let's make sure we label our units, okay? So 320 over 4, okay? And then this is talking about liters of water, H2O. And then this is talking about cups of coffee. Okay. All right, this is number 8, by the way. All right, so to solve this, we're going to set up a proportion. And they want to know how much water is needed to produce 2/3 cups of coffee. All right, well, they're giving us this information about 2/3 cups of coffee. So where should our 2/3 go? Well, it should go in the coffee place. If the first ratio has coffee in the denominator, then we're going to put 2/3 in the denominator over here. So this is also talking about cups of coffee. And then this is what we're trying to figure out right here, okay? So I like to solve these by cross multiplying. And that's how I'm going to do it, okay? So I'm going to take 4 times n. Well, 4 times n gives me 4n equals, cross multiply the other two, 320 times 2/3. Okay, so let's think this through. Let's 320 over 1 times 2/3. That's how we're going to multiply this whole number by this fraction. We're going to take the whole number and put it over 1. That way we have matching numerators and denominators that we can multiply together. All right, so 320 times 2 gives me 640 over 3. Okay? So now we need to figure out, okay, what's 640 divided by 3? 640 divided by 3. 3 goes into 6 2 times. Bring my 4 down. That goes in once. 1 times 3 is 3. Subtract. Bring down my 0. Okay, 3 goes into 10 3 times. We get 9. And what's going to end up happening, we're going to add our decimal point, bring our decimal point up here, bring that 0 down. That's going to go in 3 times, and it's going to be 3 repeating because you're going to have 3 times 3 is 9, with 1 left over, add a 0, bring it down, 3 goes into 10, and it's going to be 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. Okay, so we're just going to put 213.3. Okay, so 213.3. Now we want to get the n by itself, so I'm just going to divide both sides by 4. All right. So now, to get our final answer, all we need to do is just do 213.3 divided by 4. And you can do that on the calculator. You could have done this on your calculator. It doesn't matter. I'm just doing it by hand right now. Okay, so let's go 213.3 divided by 4. All right, 4 goes into 21 5 times. 20, 13. 4 goes into 13 3 times. 12. Bring our decimal point straight up. 13 here. All right, 4 goes into 13 again 3 times, and it's going to be 53.3. That's going to just continue to repeat. And that's going to be our answer, okay? So 53.333333333. There it is. Okay, so again, I know we kind of have a lot going on here. Just kind of follow me as I'm going through it. All we did was we set up our proportion. That's 320 liters over 4 cups of coffee. That's how we set it up. Equals another ratio. And they said they want to know how much water is needed to produce 2/3 cups of coffee. We make sure we put our 2/3 in the denominator to match up with, to match our units up in the bottom. We just cross multiplied. 4 times n gave us 4n. 320 times 2/3 gave us 213.3. Again, you didn't have to do all this that I did by hand. You could have just used your calculator. All right, and then to get the n by itself, we had to divide both sides by 4. And 213.3 divided by 4 gave us 53. So n equals 53.3. Repeating, and that's not even necessary. If you just put 50, if this was a question on the test and you just put 53.3, that would be Gucci. Okay. All right. We'll put another video up in just a few minutes.